Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cole Wolfrun, and today we're actually going to be doing a little look at the new 22 minutes of gameplay that was revealed for Dragon Age the Veilguard. So we're just going to kind of hang out, talk a little bit, and watch this and see how it turns out. See how we like it. Probably going to speak to the companions in need. Oh, okay, so we're already getting a glimpse. It looks like it's a Kunari Rook. So let's just watch this video.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kat Bailey, and this is our extended look
Okay.
at Dragon Age the Veilguard's
An
gameplay.
aquarium.
I'm here with BioWare lead developers Corinne Bush and John Epler. Corinne, what are we looking at today?
Hey y'all, so today we're going to be helping out one of our companions, Davrin. This is part of his personal arc to rescue the griffins long thought extinct. We're gonna take a quick journey through the lighthouse, your base of operations. We're going to head into the crossroads.
That's it. Did he just say head into the crossroads?
And make our way to the dark swamps of Hosberg wetlands.
So you're in the lighthouse, as Corinne mentioned. This is
okay.
That you inherited, willingly or unwillingly, from Solus. It is located in the Fade. It's where Solus was able to start planning his rebellion.
Let's.
It is located.
Floating building. Okay, so the lighthouse has several floating buildings. I can't wait for this. I'm currently playing through Inquisition on the channel for you guys, and where it is uploaded is not where I'm at. I'm currently about to start the fight in the Arbor Wilds against Corypheus, but man, am I excited for this game.
Fade. Solus to start planning his rebellion against the Elven gods millennia ago. Right now, you and your team have occupied it, started to build it, started to shape itself around your personality.
Did he say that it's where?
Right now, you and your team have occupied it.
Yeah, I heard that part.
Where Solus was able to start planning his rebellion against the Elven gods millennia ago. Right now.
Oh, so we're taking over Solus's old base from when he first rebelled against the Evanuris.
Now you and your team have occupied it, started to build it, started to shape itself around your personality. As Corinne mentioned, we are going to go talk to Davrin, who is located up above.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Each of these spaces kind of shapes itself around your companions as they live.
There's probably going to be spoilers in this video. But I want to know, and as a content creator, I feel like I need to watch it for you.
Let's check in with him.
So they all have their own room. It's the baby! It's the baby! Look at him! It's the baby griffin. Oh, he do a big stretch. He does a big stretch.
Something wrong?
Got a message.
Okay, so Kunari are massive still.
A place called the Cauldron was attacked.
That's some sort of Grey Warden tavern.
It's a secret Warden readout. No idea what goes on there.
Then why are you involved?
Because whatever attacked it sounds like the Gloomhowler.
Okay, so the facial animations are a little... I mean, they're not as bad as Andromeda by any means, but also, we gotta remember, guys, this is still before the game comes out. So, looks okay, but we'll see how it goes.
So, earlier in Davrin...
That Kunari Rook looks a little human for my liking. I'm sure they made it so you can customize your Rook to look however you want, and whoever made this Rook just wanted to make it look like a human, so we'll see.
To his nemesis, the Gloomhowler, creature that's been hunting and stalking wardens for quite some time.
The Gloomhowler, that's been a creature that has been stalking and hunting wardens.
It's kidnapped a bunch of other griffins. Davrin has...
It's kidnapped griffins?
Been trying to track it down. Now he's got a lead, so we're going to go find this and go track this thing down.
Now, Davrin, he prefers the direct approach. We're going to choose a tough response and see if we can get his approval.
Then let's get rid of it.
Had the same thought. What's
I like Davrin's voice actor.
left of the Wardens are still licking their wounds. So we handle this alone. Just go to the Cauldron and get the Griffins back.
Look at that little face!
You have to promise to behave, boy. Listen to every word I say, stay out of trouble, don't do anything dumb, and don't eat any.
I think we get the point.
Oh, he's so cute! Okay. I was a little upset when they said in the Q&A that there's not going to be a Mabari this time around, because there wasn't one in Inquisition, and that was disappointing. But I think I'll take Asan.
Lancet and Remy told me there's a word for the bond
Remy? There's a character named Remy?
between a griffin and Warden moving as one.
Mm-hmm.
Turlum. Until Asan and I have that, I'm supposed to keep him safe.
I have to say that I find the Griffin adorable.
Yeah,
And very
I
important,
agree.
this is a question on everyone's mind. Yes, you can pet Asan.
Well, thank goodness for that. And
Pet the
what are
baby!
we doing next?
You up for this?
All right, we're gonna finish getting this information from Davern on the Gloomhowler, and we'll be off to Hossberg and the Crossroads.
Between Warden and Griffin starts by having faith in each other.
Maybe. I suppose you were born for this sort of fight, boy. All talents and temper.
And a sharp tongue to remind you of it.
As long as he backs it up.
I love his little ears, so they just perk, perk. I guess they're like cat ears, so...
So I assume that Asan can be helpful during the gameplay?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, a lot of Davern's abilities revolve around calling Asan in the heat of battle. I
Okay.
particularly love when you're going against enemies. You see Asan swoop down.
The movement animations look good, and the way the hair moves. I like the way the hair flows when you move around. This place is gorgeous.
A combo between your
Yeah, I love Skyhold, but already just looking at this looks way better than Skyhold.
companions.
As Quinn mentioned earlier, one of the interesting, fun things we've done is if you see the lights on in a room, companions have something to say. You can see Harding up in that space
Oh, she has something to say.
there, Nev behind you as well, and Balara. But we have a mission ahead of us. We're going to go find the Gloomhowler if we can.
Oh, I will never be able to resist just talking to my party members.
And we're going to go through the Crossroads in order to do that. And the Crossroads, if you've played previous Dragon Age games, Trespasser in particular, is a location in the Fade that contains a number of roads, allowing you to travel across
So we're going to be traveling through Illuvians then?
Thedas
Okay.
in a matter of minutes. But
Okay, so that's how they're going to justify us traveling everywhere we want in Thedas.
at this point, the Crossroads are under assault by the other elven gods. It's a dangerous place, and we are going to be in for a bit of a fight.
And this
Okay.
Illuvian, the Beer of Voss, is the central focus point of the lighthouse. This is going to take us to Solus's pocket area of the Crossroads, and it might look a little bit different from what you've seen in Trespasser.
Can
Okay.
you tell us a little bit about the role that the Crossroads plays in the structure and the gameplay?
Yeah, so the
curious
Crossroads
about that
is,
too.
again, it's the area that you spend a lot of time traveling through as you go from
I mean, yeah, it looks like it's got a little bit more like
area to area. It's also
Foliage,
a space that
but-
has at one point served as Solus's main base of operations
oh, this is a mage Kunari. Cool.
and training ground for his rebellion against.
Of course, the Dragon Age special. I am a mage and I am wearing beautiful robes. Or is that a mace? It could be a warrior. I'm wearing splendid robes. But I got pointy pauldrons!
The elven gods. So
That's one thing me and my friend Pyrea were talking about, is that a lot of stuff is... They have very pointy shoulders
as you
on
go
the
through, you're
mages.
going to find fragments of the past, the things that Solus had done previously that are going to give you a bit of insight into Solus as a character, but also into the elven gods and their
Griffin!
motivations.
Some
Griffin.
of my favorite content that you'll find if you go exploring in the Crossroads is these opportunities to actually relive some of the memories Solus had during his
Really?
rebellion. You actually get to take part in this ancient rebellion.
And here
We get to take part in the Ancient Rebellion by reliving memories Solus had? How the fuck does that work?
we have the Caretaker, a mysterious spirit that was actually here before Solus was and started to help Solus with his rebellion, but also to turn this into a safe haven for spirits. Again, as I mentioned before, the gods are assaulting the Crossroads, so it's no longer the safe haven it once was, but you're going to work with this Caretaker through quite a large amount of ancillary content to rebuild this into that safe home for these creatures that, if anyone knows Solus, he has a tremendous amount of affection for spirits.
To a fault sometimes.
Oh,
He likes them too much. Oh!
right. Now we're going to get
Burlock.
into combat here, and this time
Okay, so it looks like Darkspawn are the primary enemies of the Veilguard, because like we saw in the last gameplay trailer that Darkspawn were like what they were fighting a lot of, but I thought that's because it was Grey Warden Fortress, but those are ghouls and that's a Hurlock, so It looks like the primary antagonists are going to be Darkspawn, which I'm honestly cool with. Also, why would I not play as a Grey Warden in that case?
We're playing as a mage.
Okay, so it is a mage.
Now, mage is one of my favorite classes to play. It's primarily a ranged attacker, and when we're surrounded by swarming Darkspawn...
So you have a full ranged party because you have Nev and Harding, too.
I really have to use a variety of strategies to control the battlefield.
Why didn't you bring Davrin with you? If this is part of Davrin's companion quest, why did you bring Harding and Nev?
Charged attacks to knock down these ghouls, get them out of the way, and of course, Darkspawn are vulnerable to fire. So we
Which is a weird... I don't know if that's always been a thing. I don't think it has.
Made sure to equip our fire...
Oh, so they're resistant to necrotic. That makes sense.
Have our fire abilities on hand.
You may notice something about the Darkspawn too, that they look a little bit different than they have previously.
A little? They look a lot different, homie.
And part of that is because Gillenane, who has always been focused on using the Blight as essentially a crafting material, a way to alter life itself, has been enhancing.
Wait, what? Gillenane is what?
Is because Gillenane, who has always been focused on using the Blight as essentially a crafting material, a way to alter life itself.
She uses the Blight to alter life itself? Alright.
Has been enhancing and changing these Darkspawn as part of her...
That's how they're explaining the reason the Darkspawn look different, because she's enhancing them. Okay.
Corinne, I noticed that you were doing a combo opportunity. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the role that plays in the actual combat?
Yes, so the combat system in this game, the deep strategy behind it is really to manage the various abilities your companions and Rook have in concert. So in this case, Harding has a combo opportunity with Shred. It's going to apply the Sundered effect and deal a high amount of stagger. Now you'll notice I can combo that with Rook's ability Spirit Bomb. That's going to
Lend me your energy, people of Thedas! They had to know. They had to know.
cause a detonation combo.
If I ever play as a mage, which I don't think I will for the channel, maybe on like challenge runs or like when I'm streaming or something, but on my own, I'm probably definitely going to be playing a warrior. I mean, not probably. I am going to be playing a warrior my first playthrough on the channel for you guys. But if I was playing as a mage, every time I clicked on Spirit Bomb, I would just constantly go, Genki Dama! Just Dragon Ball it up.
So...
Oh, and the action game, Dragon Age game, got the Dragon Ball Z attack. That's kind of funny.
And one of the things you'll notice about the terrain here is it's very snowy, very mountainous. The Crossroads is a realm that reflects the waking world. And this
we knew
is
that,
an
yeah.
amalgamation of all the real world spaces that are tied to it. In the case we've got Hosper, we've got...
Wait, hold on. I saw something.
About the terrain here is it's very snowy, very mountainous. The Crossroads is...
There's a chest.
A realm that reflects the waking world. In this case,
there's a chest right there. So there's going to be loot in the Crossroads.
It's an amalgamation of all the real world spaces that are tied to it. In the case we've got Hosper, we've got other mountainous regions. So it's kind of this mix of the swamp. And
you're talking over Harding. You're talking over Harding. I want to hear that.
And as you'll see as we move towards these alluvions,
I think this is dialogue we've already had in Inquisition that we've talked to Dorian about actually recently in where I'm at in my Let's Play. Let's roleplay. But it's Harding. Oh, I get it because she's talking to Nev. Cool.
The architecture around them very clearly reflects what's on the other side. We're not going to spoil and tell you exactly what's on the other side, but you maybe make a few guesses based on what you're seeing.
Do I have to do the Crossroads, or can I just fast travel right through?
So it depends how you progress through the game. The first time you go to any of the new regions in the world, you'll traverse the Crossroads to get there.
Okay.
Subsequent times, we of course support fast travel.
Oh, okay.
It behooves you to actually go back and explore the Crossroads, as some of the deepest secrets lie within.
So now you're in Hosberg Wetlands.
So they're basically saying, you can just fast travel places if you want. But please go explore the Crossroads. I'm going to be exploring the fuck out of the Crossroads.
It's an area that has been almost completely consumed by the Blight. The Grey Wardens have set up an outpost here. Again, you know anything about the Grey Wardens, they fight the Blight anywhere they see it, and they're
Makes
noticing
sense.
something strange is going on here. The Blight is not
Codex. Oh man, Codex entries. So that's one thing that I got one little complaint that somebody had, is that I wasn't really reading Codex entries in my playthroughs of Origins 2 and Inquisition. But that's because I already pretty much know all that stuff, so I was just explaining things to you guys as I found it. But with the Veilguard, I will be reading the codexes because I don't know everything that's going to happen in the Veilguard. This will be my first blind playthrough of an RPG on the channel, which will be exciting.
behaving as they expect.
Especially since it's a Dragon Age game. I'm so happy. So happy about that.
And doing as it historically has. So they've set up shop in this place called Lavendale, and you are here to work with them, help them.
NPCs just show. Everyone looks so small, but I'm realizing now it's because he's playing as a Kunari.
And help them find an answer to the questions about the Blight that they're asking.
Oh,
Tell me a little bit
blacksmith.
more about this area. It looks a little bit like a hub where you can get a lot of quests and things like that.
Wait, little kid. There's kid. Well, there was
That's
kids
right.
in Origins.
So here we find one of the bases of the Grey Wardens. So you'll see they've really built up a small fighting force here to hold off the Darkspawn. What's more, the Grey Wardens are a faction we're going to be working with throughout the game.
Well, no shit. Yeah, the Grey Wardens are a faction we're going to be working with all throughout the game. No shit. The main enemy, the main like grunt enemy we're fighting is Darkspawn, and it's already been confirmed that Gillenane and Elgar'nan can control the archdemons.
Holden, one of the Grey Warden quartermasters, we're actually going to upgrade his shop and see what items.
Upgrade his shop? Oh, you have to use resources to upgrade shops.
He has in store for us. So
Interesting.
maybe it gives us an edge in combat.
And the Grey Wardens, much like the other factions, they understand this.
Okay, so if it says... Griffin Salon plus 6. Oh, so that's an upgrade.
Mistakes of the gods being out. They want to help you, but you need to help them first. They have
So they have their own weapons that you can just get upgrades for. Got it.
again, as Kryn mentioned, they're holding off the Darkspawn here. They have other priorities, so getting them more powerful.
So does it look like we can buy new equipment for our party members just for us? Their equipment just upgrades. I guess that's fine.
Allows them to more meaningfully
It's definitely similar to the way Mass Effect did things.
to your fight against the Elven gods.
So where are we going next?
We'll see.
All right, so we're heading out of the Grey Warden Fortress into the small town of Lavendale. Now, this used to be beautiful.
This looks so nice. Like obviously this is on YouTube, so it's the game itself is going to look much better than this when it's like full on.
Place full of life, flowers, and you can see what effect the blight has had. But the residents are still here. They're trying to make the most of their lives, and you can see there's plenty of opportunities to help them. In fact, we're going to quickly check in with Finn the physician
A doctor.
and see what he has in store for us.
Oh, he.
And again,
Sorry.
one of the focuses of this game is characters, not causes.
I've been busy with patients, but I'm short on medical supplies. My mentor, Oscar, he should have some. He has a cabin outside the village. If you're out there, tell him you saw Flynn, and they could use his help.
And Flynn is a warden who you will do quests with.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to make sure that the side content of Dragon Age the Veilguard felt as meaningful and tied to the overall conflict of the game as anything else you do. We don't want...
Thank you, because that's my biggest problem with Inquisition and why I've been doing like... So the way I've been doing my Let's Roleplay of Inquisition is like any story quest, obviously, and any companion quest I do on screen, but I've been doing a lot of the side content just for leveling up and grinding off screen because it's not interesting. The side quests in Inquisition are the worst part about Inquisition. The main quest is amazing. The character quests are, for the most part, all pretty great. But the random side quests suck. The only fun side quests in the game are when you're like taking fortresses or killing dragons. That's it.
Want you to just go off and do random tasks. Everything needs to feel meaningful, either contributing to your fight against the gods.
Okay, so all side quests feel meaningful. I hope that's true, and if it is, that's going to make this game... That's going to improve this game over Inquisition a lot. If the side content's good.
For your companions and the
I like her outfit.
That you need at your side to stop the gods.
You look a bit worried.
We're not sure where some of our wardens are.
And I'm so glad, like, even random dialogue with, like, random NPCs, like this Warden Greta, unlike Inquisition, where it just kind of zooms in the overworld camera, it's, like, actually a full conversation. Thank you!
And a few others. We're supposed to check in. We need to look out for each other more than ever.
Good.
It's just...
This is such an improvement over the way they did random conversations in Inquisition. That's another peeve I have with Inquisition, is the way they do, like, I guess not non-important, but like normal conversations you can just have at any time. They just zoom in the camera slightly and have the characters go as you can move the camera around to get better angles. But I prefer this with a cinematic camera, or like actually showing the camera angles, like actually zooming in on the characters.
Hard, and I hope they're okay.
The facial animations are a little iffy right now, but the game, I'm sure they're going to tweak that before the final release.
All right, so we picked up a couple of quests in Lavendel, but we're here to help Davrin. So we're going to make our way through the perils of Hosberg and try to get to this Warden Fortress of the Cauldron.
Okay.
Seeing a
the
lot
mage
of
combat looks okay.
Organic matter. I suppose that's the blight.
Absolutely. So the blight at this point, as mentioned before, the wardens understand it's changed. It's become a lot more organic, a lot more alive. You're back in Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, Origins. The blight, while it was a slow-moving wall, it didn't have this almost sentience, this almost...
Yeah, because it just like made the ground rot, basically. And
thought behind...
So this is a blight. So this is the blight. Okay, so we're dealing with another blight in the Veilguard.
And obviously we've
confirmed. They just confirmed there's a blight. I have to play a Grey Warden, guys. Like, I'm going to be playing a Grey Warden my first playthrough on the channel. Like, I might change my mind in the next, 2 months before the game comes out, but yeah, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be playing a Grey Warden.
The gods that are out are blighted. That probably has something to do with it, and it's made this area far more dangerous than it would have been before.
Wow, look at that. The blight, yeah, they definitely making the blight look grotesque. Jeez.
You might notice as we get into combat with some of these darkspawn that they do look a little bit different than
they do. That an ogre?
Before, and that's very intentional. Gillenane, the god of monster.
She's the god of what?
That they do look a little bit different than before, and that's very intentional. Gillenane, the god of monsters.
Okay.
She uses blight like a medium to sculpt and warp the darkspawn to do her bidding. To suit her purposes.
Oh my god, the ogres are huge. So that means Gillenane is the master of the blight, even more than Corypheus. I definitely want to know more about that, because up until now in the Dragon Age timeline, we've killed an archdemon, right? Yeah, and we've dealt with Corypheus, who was one of the first Darkspawn. Does that mean it wasn't the Maker that made Corypheus and his cohorts into Darkspawn? Was it Gillenane? Did Gillenane create Corypheus? Chantry's gonna be pissed when they find that out. So here's the thing, like, there's so many things pointing to everything about the Maker leading into actually being the Evanurus, like the Evanurus being responsible for everything that the Andrastians have attributed to the Maker, with the exception of Andraste's sacred ashes. That's the only thing that still points at the Maker really existing. But maybe Andraste was thinking she was serving the Maker, but was actually serving the Evanurus. That's possible. So everything is pointing towards the Evanurus actually being the only gods. And the old gods of the Tuventur Imperium, I'm convinced that they either were the Evanurus or they worked for or they were servants of the Evanurus. I'm fully convinced by that. But the fact that they're saying that Gillenane can shape and change the blight to her whims, if you think about that, say Corypheus and his 6 other cohorts got to the Black City. Maybe it was always black. Maybe it was gold. Who knows? And instead of finding the Maker and the Golden City, they found the Black City and Gillenane. And Gillenane turned them into Darkspawn and sicked them upon the world. That's what I think happened, honestly. Now that I'm really thinking about it, putting the pieces together, that's pretty clearly what happened. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. But interesting. I am very happy that we're getting more answers about the Blight, though, and about Darkspawn, because they've been still shrouded in mystery for a long time. There are only 2 archdemons left, though, because there's 7 old gods, and there have been 5 blights. So there's 2 old Tevinter gods left to turn into archdemons. And we know confirmed Gillenane wakes one up, but oh wait, there was 2 that could have been archdemons in the trailer. Ooh, is this going to be the final blight? Ooh, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
So right now you'll see a couple of Hurlocks, one with some pretty disgusting...
Which, if you really think about it, sorry, I keep pausing, but the whole thing with Dragon Age 2... so look at Origins, Inquisition, and the Veilguard. Forget Dragon Age 2 for a minute. All 3 of them are tied intrinsically to the Blight. The only Dragon Age game that's not is Dragon Age 2, because it was never intended to actually be a direct sequel. It was supposed to be a side game. I really wish EA hadn't forced BioWare to make that the actual sequel, because what was originally supposed to happen was we were supposed to Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and then spin-off game, Dragon Age Exodus, which was supposed to be Hawk's game. And then actual sequel, Dragon Age 2 Inquisition. And then we would have had Dragon Age 3, The Veilguard. So it would have had 3 games focusing on the Blight, and then Dragon Age Exodus. But instead, there are 4 games, and one of them has barely anything to do with the other 2. The only thing Dragon Age 2 has to do with any of the other games is starting the Mage Rebellion, which is barely even a thing in Inquisition. So frustrating. Like, it's a thing, but it's not the main plot like everyone thought it was going to be. No. Instead, they went back to Darkspawn, which, frankly, good shit. Even though we don't fight too many actual Darkspawn in Inquisition, because Corypheus doesn't actually, throw them at the world until you do the Descent DLC, but looks like we're fighting a lot of them, and I actually personally really like the redesign, and they've confirmed it's intentional. Gillenane is changing things, which is so interesting.
Gross on its back. Again, the idea that the Darkspawn and the Blight is an organic weapon. They're not just coming out and, making swords, making armor. They're using the Blight to augment themselves so they can more effectively defeat you and also give the gods the world that they desire.
All right, now I'm actually going to switch to...
That's interesting. The Darkspawn are trying to give the gods the world that they desire. That's so fucked. So the Darkspawn have been working for the gods this whole time.
Orb and Dagger on the Mage, and those
Orb
are the
and Dagger
of the Knight Enchanter in Dragon Age Inquisition. You might feel right at home with this.
Okay.
This is a more melee-focused, more agile version of the Mage. One of the main mechanics here is you can use this elemental orb to apply stacks of elemental damage to the enemy, and then unleash them with your dagger to detonate them.
So
that's interesting.
Again, we're in.
Okay, so that's our health bar. 0 out of 3, only 3 health potions to start.
There are Blight pools. The Darkspawn aren't just coming out of nowhere. The Blight is spawning them again.
The Blight spawns them?
Part of Gillenane's attempt to turn this into an army for the gods is to use these Darkspawn, not just, again, whereas you have the Venatori and the Antom, one case...
The Venatori and the Antom? Okay, so there's going to be 3 major antagonistic armies then. The Darkspawn, the Venatori, and the Kunari army of the Antom. Ooh. I think my daughter fell down. Oh, no. I think my wife got her, though. Sorry, guys. So we're going to be fighting against the Venatori, of course. Why would we not be fighting the Venatori? Just because Corypheus is dealt with doesn't mean the Venatori just stopped. And with Trespasser, we already saw the Kunari were kind of planning another invasion. So we're going to fight the Tevinter Venatori, the Kunari Antam, and the Darkspawn? Okay, I'm sold. I mean,
magical power in the other case.
I was already sold, but I'm more sold.
Is representing physical strength. The Darkspawn are representing overwhelming force.
That was a pretty clutch heal a little earlier, by the way.
You know, we've talked at length before that our fans have asked us, where is the healing magic? Can you bring it back? And Nev, in this game, happy to oblige with a kit of healing spells.
Thank you! Thank you, BioWare, for bringing back healing magic, but they said Nev specifically. Does that mean your Rook can't have healing spell? Well, I guess that's fine. It's an action RPG, so like it makes more sense for one of your party members to be more focused on healing. But is Nev the only one? Can Balara and Emmerich not heal? Interesting.
So one of the interesting things that I love about our companions is each of them, their abilities, the way that they're built.
Nev's an ice mage, cool.
Appropriate to the character. They're very focused on making sure that the gameplay and the narrative are as closely aligned as possible. In the case of Nev,
zip lines
versus Emmerich, our mages, each of them has a healing ability that is thematic.
Okay, so each of them have a healing ability. Cool.
Appropriate to them. Makes sense.
I should probably just let the video keep playing and they're just going to answer the questions I have.
When you know them as a character.
Watching you play, I'm struck by sort of the size and the scope of this particular area. It seems like there's a lot of exploration that I can be doing.
Yeah. So people who were worried that there was going to be like no exploration, I think this is putting my mind at ease a little bit because that was one of my big concerns, which like Origins and 2 did not really have much exploration, but I may have hated the side quests in Inquisition, but at least the non-character related ones and the non-dragon related ones. But I liked the exploration. I really liked the exploration. It was fun getting to explore all the areas. That part was actually fun. So I'm happy to see that there's exploration even though the game is more linear.
That was really one of our goals with these areas. Of course, we are a mission-based game, but we really emphasize player autonomy. You can revisit these spaces.
Good.
They're full of secrets.
That makes
puzzles,
me happy.
Some pretty incredible bosses and treasure. And of course, as we saw earlier in Lavendel.
That's one thing that I'm going to be happy with is like Dragon Age 1 doesn't have great boss fights. Dragon Age 2 has okay boss fights. Dragon Age Inquisition has the best boss fights in the series so far. But I think the Veilguard with this combat system is going to have better boss fights, just straight up. Well, at least more fun to actually play boss fights, if that makes sense.
Some really narratively rich side quests.
It's the boy!
One thing that's interesting is you'll find we're going on a quest for Davrin, but Davrin is not currently in our party. That's because Davrin has gone ahead of us and is waiting for us at the Cauldron. This is, again, we want the followers, the companions, to feel like they have autonomy. And while they won't complete the quest on their own, they will go ahead and get things ready. So when you get there, you can you talk to them, you have a conversation with them, and it feels like they're as invested in the success of their journey, their stories, as you are.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. They don't have to be with you to start a quest.
This looks like
Kinda like that.
Pretty contiguous zone. Is that right?
It is, yes. So it's full of branching paths, different areas to explore, and what I love is the more
contiguous, that's a fancy word of saying you can explore.
Content you do in the area, the more shortcuts you're going to discover. You're really going to have a lot more flexibility in how you navigate between your remaining missions and quests.
I have a feeling I'm going to be playing a two-handed sword warrior again, sorry guys, and doing a lot of dodge rolling. You know what, I might play a sword and board just for the... I kind of want to play more of a self-insert with the Veilguard and roleplay kind of as myself. And I like big weapons. We'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely not doing a major rogue first time through, so don't expect that. I'm the guy you come to for warrior content, like straight up. You come to me, you want to see a big dude playing big dudes in video games. Except in Dragon Age 2, I played a mage, but whatever.
Something really interesting too about the way that our team has built these spaces is there's the idea of each space has its own story to tell, and while those quests, we talked earlier about those quests and side quests being narratively relevant, they also contribute to more of a meta narrative, meta story about the space itself.
Okay.
So in the case of Hosper, we talked about how this is an area surrounded by blight, and you're kind of getting to the center of what exactly is going on in Hosberg and Lavendel, and these quests that you do and the content Corinne is currently engaged in helps to tell that story.
Corinne looks like they know what they're doing a little bit with this game. Well, they did develop it, so makes sense for them.
All right, we can see our companions are up here attacking this dark spawn on their own. Let's give them a quick hand.
I kind of like the Spellblade, so whenever I play a, whenever I do play a mage, I will almost certainly be playing the Spellblade.
Positional gameplay, making use of the environment.
I do like how you finally have a different spellcasting focus than just a staff, which staffs are cool, but an orb and a dagger, that's kind of cool.
Advantage.
And I just saw that you could do a takedown move, so it's kind of a finishing move.
You can. Now, in this particular build, I'm really focused on using necromantic energies to siphon life force. But if I, for instance, wanted to go the stagger route, I could go a full takedown build if I like. It's a...
That's probably what I'm going to do as a warrior, just
really,
full takedown build.
Powerful, heavy-hitting style of gameplay.
Oh, sorry. My daughter screamed.
All right, so you'll notice Davern is waiting for us, so let's go see what he has to say.
Easy boy, Hassan.
Hassan flies in.
Oh.
Yeah, a bad day at the cauldron.
I like Davern's voice actor. He sounds pretty cool.
What could do that?
The Blight, Rook. The Blight.
What have they been hiding inside?
So did it just auto kick Harding from your party? Because I only see Nev.
Something tore through the gate. That's probably not great.
Oh, something tore through the gate. Okay.
Looks like we should probably get moving.
We won't find out standing around here.
So Davern likes the direct approach. Oh, that armor! I guess he does get different armor throughout the game, because all we've seen in the trailers is like that kind of open shirt armor. But that looks dope, my guy. Also, Davern is the most Giga Chad elf we've ever seen in a Dragon Age game. Look at that man's face.
Anything.
He's a good little griffin.
So because we don't have Davern in our party, he's going to move ahead and wait for us. Well,
okay, that's kind of cool. So you don't have to take your party members to do their companion quests. I probably still will, for the most part. Maybe I'll try it occasionally, like especially if it's a party member that I don't really like the way they play in combat. But I think I'm going to have my party members in the party with me when we're doing their quests, just for dialogue's sake.
We bring Nev and Harding along to clear a path for ourselves to find Davern and get to where he is.
So that's something I saw talking about. They're probably about to talk about it, but whenever Rook pulls out their dagger, they can use their party members' abilities even when they're not there, because that's like the second or third time we've seen Rook summon Asan to clear something out.
A little bit about how Nev and Harding sort of synergize during the combat.
Yeah, so Nev and Harding, Nev is a mage, Harding is a rogue, and each of the classes, and you
see how he hesitated there because of the things we've seen in the trailer. Like, Harding's clearly going to get some kind of magic, but he went, Nev is a mage, like full, concise, like Nev's a mage, and then when Harding is a rogue.
Can build and party entirely of one class if you want, but the idea is that the classes synergize and they can set up and detonate each other's abilities in a very interesting way. Now,
just go kill all warriors all the time. I'm kidding. I hate doing that. It honestly, like, I have trouble in the current Dragon Age game, like my playthrough. Like, I usually take myself, like, because I'm playing a warrior, right? My Inquisitor is a Kunari Inquisitor, and he's a two-handed warrior. And I usually take either Cassandra or Black one of the other warriors, a rogue and a mage. So with only 3 party members, I'm going to have to make myself take another warrior sometimes. It is what it is.
Because you have a lot of freedom in how you build your character, you can, again, as said, you can have all rogue party, all mage party, all warrior party, it still works. But in this case, Nev and Harding are very effective at setting up and detonating, in this case, as Corinne's going to show.
Okay, so we got healed.
So we're in danger here, and this is really what I love about the tactical layer of combat. If you get in that clutch...
See that? Everyone who was bitching that Dragon Age Veilguard didn't look tactical? This looks more tactical than Inquisition. Straight up.
situation where you've got this devastating...
All the combat we've seen from this trailer and the last trailer looks so much more fluid, and both fluid and more fast-paced action and more tactical than Inquisition. And Inquisition has had my favorite combat of the series so far, so I am so excited for the Veilguard.
Incoming attack. Great
And
time to
give.
weigh your options.
Actually, please do not give yet. I really need to wait until my Inquisition Let's Play is finished uploading. Please.
In this case, I'm going to go back to...
I wish I had gotten started as a content creator sooner, because then maybe I would be able to get an early copy. I don't want that so bad.
Our combo here, and see if I can just quickly get out of the way. All right. You can see I've applied siphoning to these enemies, so I'm actually going to be leeching their health when I use my Mage Beam. Now you'll notice there's blight boils throughout the area, and that's part of our philosophy on the combat encounters. If I don't destroy these blight boils, ghouls are going to continue to emerge. So I'm really focused on what targets do I take down first. This enemy is a little bit weaker. I think I'm going to have my companions focus on them while I deal with this grenadier that's given me some problem.
Yeah, I will say, and that's no, I'm not on the stick. Kryn is much better at this game than I am, and
You say that?
Well, most of the time, yes, 100%. But
it's kind of funny.
Each enemy, again, really leaning into the organic. What I love about the Grenadiers is they basically rip off pieces of themselves and throw them at you, which explode as blight. And again, really leaning to the idea that the blight is organic and disgusting.
Yeah, Nev heal.
One thing that I've noticed.
See, this game is so much more tactical, because here's my hot take. Fast-paced action combat with tactical, like, pause to, like, issue commands requires more strategy than slow real-time with pause. Because slow real-time with pause, you get forever to issue commands, and you have a lot of time. With this kind of fast-paced combat, you need to pause real quick, issue a command, and then get back to fighting. So good. I love it.
Is that
it's kind of given me the same, kind of like if you took Inquisition and mixed it with Final Fantasy 16, which is a huge compliment for me, because I love Final Fantasy 16's combat. I still haven't beaten the game. I started it. Maybe I'll play that for the channel. Who knows? But this... I'm loving the way the combat's looking. It's so good. Yeah. And the art style. I love it, the art style and the graphic. This still feels distinctly Dragon Age to me. This feels more Dragon Age to me than Inquisition did. And Inquisition is my favorite Dragon Age game. But like this feels like you took Inquisition... I guess it doesn't feel more Dragon Age than Inquisition. I guess it feels like if you took the things that when I think Dragon Age and they make me think of Inquisition, and the things like when I think Dragon Age that make me think of Origins, and you kind of melted them together, that's what this game is, the vibes this game is giving me. And I'm very happy about that.
Encounters can get pretty intense. You end up fighting a lot of different enemies. You can
Dude, you're dying
if you're not careful.
Yes.
What difficulties? I really hope this... Maybe this is on hard. I'm probably going to do my first playthrough on hard.
Mentioned earlier, this is...
Definitely not doing my first playthrough on Nightmare. I'm sorry, guys. It's not happening.
Well into the game. So combat counters have really ramped up.
Oh, so this is well into the game. Okay, that makes sense.
It really shows the importance of positioning, using your companions wisely, and looking for those synergies and combos. Now, this is interesting. We just went down. We've
revive
companions to be able to come to our aid. So we're actually going to use a revive here. And Nev to the rescue.
And as Corinne mentioned, this is later in the game. And Hossberg itself is what I would consider a later game area. And the encounter is a little bit more challenging. It's a more dangerous space. This shows up in the encounter, but it also shows up in the visuals, the storytelling here. This is a place that you don't want to be. You don't want to be in Hossberg. It is full of darkspawn, full of blight, and generally not a pleasant place to be.
Well, we'll be able to explore more of the Cauldron when Dragon Age the Veilguard comes out on October 31st. In the meantime, we are going to be continuing on with our IGN First coverage of Dragon Age for the rest of September. And for
I'm excited.
That's great about games and RPGs, keep it locked on IGN.
Normally don't like IGN, but I like that video a lot, and it's so good. I'm very excited about this. So let's get rid of this for a second. So yeah, straight up, that looked so good. I'm so excited for this game in general, and this just made me even more excited, guys. I will have an episode of the Veilguard up on October 31st when the game comes out, probably earlier in the morning, maybe even 2 episodes. I don't know, because when that game comes out on the 31st, but I'm going to pre-order a digital version on my PS5. Yeah, I'm going to play on PS5, not PC. It's going to be the first one of the games I play on console on the channel. That's just because console releases tend to be a little bit more stable than PC releases for BioWare games, at least when they first come out. It probably won't look as pretty, but let's be real. If it's on the PS5, it's going to look great anyway. If the PS5 could make Black Myth Wukong look great, it can make Dragon Age Veilguard look great. Because this game looks amazing, but graphically it's nowhere near as intensive as Black Myth Wukong. But it's a much bigger game, so that's why. And it still looks fantastic. It's definitely the best looking Dragon Age game by a wide margin. But it's also because it's 10 years of development time. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. So when it comes out on like 11 p.m. on the 30th or whatever, I'm gonna record several episodes and get the first one ready to upload on the 31st. But yeah, I'm so excited, guys. Oh, I just can't wait. There's so many things. Like, I'm most interested in the fact that Gillenane is clearly the master of the Blight, or maybe Elgar'nan is. We don't know, but she clearly is controlling the Blight in this game, which means that she's probably been controlling the Blight from the get-go. And like I said, she's probably the one who actually turned the Magisters that got into the Black City, like Corypheus, and I think the Architect, but there's some other theories on that, all 7 of them. I think she is the one who turned them into Darkspawn, not the Maker. So I'll be interested to see if that's true. But yeah, I am very, very hyped for this, guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. I cover a lot of Dragon Age content. I have Let's Plays of the first 2, or Let's Role Plays, where I create a character and role play as them. I don't make decisions I would make. I make decisions that that character would make. I've got a completed one of Origins and Dragon Age 2. We're currently going through Inquisition, and we will have that game completed and every episode uploaded before the Veilguard comes out. It might be on October 30th, but it'll be done. And yeah, I'm going to start Dragon Age Veilguard as soon as it comes out, and I'm still going to make more videos like this with all the coverage of the other Dragon Age games. So, yeah. Or not other Dragon Age games. I'm going to react and cover and, like, theorize about everything with every little first look they give us. Most of the video stuff, the audio stuff, I'm just kind of doing on my own because that's kind of just for me to just kind of like vibe. If it's like the Vows one, I think. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing that on my own. But I'm excited. We've seen a lot of Rogue and Warrior gameplay so far. Maybe the next video they'll show two-handed Warrior gameplay because that is really what's going to sell me on if I'm playing a two-handed Warrior or a sword and board. But hey guys, if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next whatever video I record. Catch y'all next time.